Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna call the August Chouteau County Library Board of Trustees meeting, annual or monthly meeting to order. And I, as the new chairman, and I'm sorry, I missed last week, but 80th birthday took precedence. And but I'm honored to be your new chairman. Thank you for electing me. And thank you for letting us have the meeting in Highwood. It is very nice. I'm very pleased. So the first thing we'll do is I see it's not on here, but are we? Oh, maybe I'm not looking at the agenda. I'm not looking at. Sorry. The first thing is we're going to have public comment for items on the agenda. And where do they step up to, Emily, to be heard?
Just to the front.
Oh, right here? Okay.
Just where they are, since it's not a very big space.
Okay. If you have a public comment for anything on the agenda, now is the time for you to step up or speak loudly and have your say. And please limit your comments to 3 minutes. Anybody on the? Oh, okay, good. Then we'll move on to the consent agenda, which is the minutes from the meeting of July and the financial reports from the meeting in July. So has anybody got anything they'd like to say about any?
I just wanted to
questions?
clarify that the gift cards for the Big Sandy Library, were they part of the summer reading program or something?
I believe so.
Okay, I figured that was the case.
Anybody else? Is there any public comment? Can I hear a motion to accept the July minutes and financial reports?
I move to accept the consent agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the consent agenda as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The consent agenda has been passed. Now it's time for the branch reports. On the agenda, Big Sandy's first. Are they ready?
They're online.
I am here.
Okay, great.
So we ended the month Friday, July 31st by celebrating my 9 years with the Chouteau County Library System. Thank you to everyone who helped make the day special, from beautiful flowers and celebration banner to the delicious cake and kind wishes from the patrons. We had a fantastic summer reading program this year with strong participation from children, teens, and adults. We celebrated 250 years of American independence with patriotic crafts and enjoyed hands-on activities, including watercolor paints, pony bee crafts, dino dirt cups, and ice cream floats. The summer concluded with a fun T-Rex tea party. Our teen and adult library loot bag program was very successful, with readers enjoying curated books and celebrating many prize winners. A heartfelt thank you to Triangle Communications for providing prizes, Town Pump Grant for supporting program supplies, Chouteau County Coalition for the supplies for summer lunch program, and the Big Sandy Friend of the Library for their continued support. Thank you to everyone who participated, volunteered, donated, and helped make the summer such a success. And we are grateful for our wonderful community and look forward to another great summer of reading.
Thank you.
I would like to comment that I appreciate your outline of your report there to read ahead of time. That was very complete, and thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Fort Benton.
For July, for July, Fort Benton themes displays were American 250. Author, illustrator Jane Yolen, firefighters, wildfires, and police. And we didn't have any real extra projects through the month. We finished up our summer reading and kept the library open.
So I'm going to display my ignorance. Who's Jane Yolen?
She was a pretty prolific, I found out later, author, illustrator. She had from children's books, like picture books, all the way through. She wrote some young adult or some like chapter books, young adult and fiction. She had passed away. I had seen it, so I did a display of all that we have.
Okay, it's astounding, the amount of information out there I'm not aware of. Okay, and Geraldine?
Yep, I'm here. Geraldine's themes for July were America, 4th of July, and things that go. For projects, I wrapped up summer reading and was trying to prep the library for the new librarian to start. Geraldine offered a total of 25 summer reading programs this summer. We had a total of 315 patrons attend those programs. The kids ages 0 to 10 read a total of 1,014 hours. Unfortunately, they did miss our 1,500-hour goal, but they'll just have to try harder next year. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. So moving on to the director's report.
So for the board goals for the director, staff engagement and communication, I sent out that last update with the site visits that I took. Communication seems to be going well. I feel that there's improvement and a relaxation in interaction from my perspective. And then collection management and team involvement, the Big Sandy Library has all of their barcodes and cataloging capabilities, and we've set up a shared document that records what they've put into the collection, like when it goes in, and books that are donated versus books that are purchased by the system. So that was the board's goal by September, I believe was the date.
So if I understand you correctly, Emily, what you're telling us is that at least Big Sandy, of course, we can't really say that about Geraldine right now, but maybe, certainly Big Sandy is actually managing their collection
Yes.
and weeding.
Well, the way that the weeding process has been set up, they can pull whatever books they feel are no longer have a place in the Big Sandy Library, and then we'll go over that together as a team, that team involvement, and then take those out.
And either retire them or move them to another facility.
Yeah, and if they feel that they would move well in their own book sale, they are gonna keep them up there, and if they don't wanna have them on site, they have much more limited space than we have in Fort Benton, then they can send them over to Fort Benton, the ones that are being completely removed out of the system.
Okay, and since Sammy Jo was the librarian in Geraldine, is she also able to do collection
Yes,
management?
She is, yeah.
Okay, and I think that I talked to you a little bit about giving us some information about how you did the training and how it went. If you could do that a little bit for us.
So, well, for everyone, it ended up not being a training altogether just because of the transition in the job. And so both the employees in Big Sandy had done a variety of online training that they had done before. And then I touched base with them to see if they had any other questions. And there were a couple of questions, and we went through that and made a connection with the state library to make sure that they had that support. It's the same support that we get at Fort Benton, to be able to add books that aren't necessarily in the program already. There's one way you can add them, and then if they're not there, they're not at any other library in the state. There's something called SmartPort that then looks outside of the state into the larger system, and to be able to add them that way. So we have that. I will be up on Friday to see how that's going, but they had 3 that they had questions about. They reached out to the state library through a help ticket. We have it, it's all online. And I was included on that to make sure that we were stepping through that together, and they were able to add those. So there will be follow-up, but yes, it's all under there.
And and what do you envision for Geraldine? Because obviously the new hire will not be doing collection and weeding in Geraldine to begin with.
Not by September, no. So, but about that same process to go through, we'll start. Initially, the very first thing we start training on is the physical processing, so that's adding the book covers and the spine labels and things
And
like
that's
that.
not done in Geraldine.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
That's what Sandy Jo did before.
okay.
That's where we start with new initially, and then as the new hire grows to know the collection, we'll start to take on those responsibilities. And develops.
Okay. And I think I also asked you to give us a comment on the procurement and billing.
Oh, okay, so are we done with those goals, I guess? Did
Does
anyone
anyone
else
have
questions?
any questions? Or, I just have this comment and next week, or next month, I'm sorry. We'll have a more formal discussion about this, but I was looking back because I had misplaced something, and so I was looking for it in my bag. And initially, when you were doing what you call SECs,
Mhm.
they were very detailed, and now they're not. And so I'm just wondering if the reason for that is because you think that things are so smoothed out, they don't need to be, or what your reasoning is for why we went from quite detailed to almost no detail, really.
So I believe it was at the June meeting, we talked about it, and I felt from the board overall that I was providing too much detail, so then I tried to pull that back. I don't,
Oh, you got that feeling from us?
it did. Why I was including the emails that I had sent and things like that, so I stopped including that.
Well, I, you know, I'm sorry that you felt that way. That I think was a mistake. And so we'd like as much detail as you can give us, just because that tells us that, things are coming along like they should. So,
I also feel sorry that you felt that way, Emily. If I conveyed that as chairman to you, your previous ones were very thorough and very informative, and I appreciated all that information. So I
Okay.
do apologize if that was a mistake.
Okay. Okay, so then so for Fort Benton, we usually change our hours going into the fall, after Labor Day, and so we will be open Mondays 9 until 7. And then Tuesday through Friday, 9 until 5. I've had some community members, or one community member reach out for a specialized, course or class presentation that they would like to offer, and I've talked with them about use of the basement room for that, so the upstairs would not be open and there would be a staff member present for that outside of our regularly posted open hours. That's what we've done before for limited. We've had a couple of things on Saturdays over the last few years and some different evening things, and so I've touched base with them, but our general posted hours will be that Monday long day and Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 5.
So Wednesday also would be 9 to 5. And can I ask what that community organization is that's meeting that?
They reached out. It's not, I guess, not an organization, it was an individual to offer a financial planning class. A 3-week course. Open and free. That's one of our meeting room. In the policy, it has to be offered free to the public.
So it would be offered to everyone, but the library itself would be closed during those
Right.
2 hours?
Mhm.
Is that how long you expect it to be? Is it
I
2
think
hours?
so, yeah. So it would start evening programs, or programs are more successful, community programs like that, if it's offered after the regular workday.
Mhm.
So it would be 5 to 7.
And I'm sorry, what date was that?
We don't have it. We have just been working out if it was possible, should it be once a month for 3 months? Should it be 3 weeks in a row? Should it be every other week? We're still working that out. So I don't have that finalized yet.
So Monday it would still be a late evening
Mhm.
library time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have D&D that meets starting at 4, they meet from 4 to 7, we have an exercise class, and then in September, we're gonna offer, or in Fort Benton, we have bingo, the third Monday of the month, that starts at 5:30, that we do for about an hour. And then I am working with the University of Montana Cybersecurity, they're gonna come do a 2-hour cybersecurity presentation that will be on the 28th in that evening, starting at 5. So we wanted to make sure we were open at least one evening a week to be able to still do that type of programming.
And that starts after Labor Day.
Yes.
Are you hoping to continue to keep the hours in Geraldine that you've got here for winter, which I see are the same as summer, frankly?
Yeah, Big
So-
Sandy and Geraldine don't change their hours. I'm not sure. The applicant has another part-time job, so we would have to look at what those hours, the amount of hours would stay the same. But it would potentially be it might not be 11 to 6, maybe it would be 1 to, like 1 to 7, 5 days a week. I mean, it might just look a little bit different than it has in the past, depending on availability.
Cause it's currently 11 to 5,
4 days a week,
right?
so 24 open hours. But it might look different after I am able to touch base.
What time in Geraldine is it used the most? Does she have some?
Can Sammy answer that?
That's up to you as board chair. I don't know if she,
There's still.
this is.
I mean, if you know, Emily, certainly you can.
No, I mean, I don't, I know, oh, here she is.
I can speak to that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Geraldine, honestly, when I first started, I did have different hours. I tried to see what worked best for our community. We were open 9 to 2 a couple days, 1 to 6 a couple days. This was before we got 4 more additional hours for Geraldine. And our library is very busy after school. We do have a good chunk of the community that will come in and use the library, though, earlier in the day before school is out, just as they go out and they're getting their groceries before lunch, or if after they visit the senior center, they'll come down, and that's when they do their library time before all the kids get there, because our library is a little bit smaller, so it does get kind of crowded after school.
So in other words, no matter who we hire for that position, we want to make sure it's available during those times.
I mean, you could probably scoot it a little bit and yeah, do like noon to 6 or something. There's also, personally, I did not want to work part-time hours and work full-time days, so I was not open on Fridays. We historically had not been open. Well, I'm sorry, that's incorrect. When Joan was there, she was not open Mondays. And my experience with working with the kids at school was if they had a project or anything, they needed the library open Monday and not Friday. So I decided to switch that and be open Monday through Thursday. They could potentially take 4 of those hours and be open 4 hours on Friday and just be open 5 days a week. That's up to Emily and them, though.
Certainly. Thank you, Sammy.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments for Emily? Okay, thanks, Emily, for your report. The announcement date to remember is that the library, all branches of the library system will be closed in observance of Labor Day, which is September 7th. Moving on to unfinished business, we have some policy review. As far as I know, as far as I could tell, and I did listen to the meeting, nothing was sent to committee. So I'm assuming I don't see it in here, so.
What are you looking for?
I was gonna look at the, internet use and safety policy. So, would it have been on in the last bunch of pages? I could get out my main book. Anyway, did anyone have any concerns about the internet use and safety policy as it is currently written?
I did not. Did you want to look at it? It was right there.
Yeah, I looked at it before, and I guess I thought that. Anybody?
No, I know.
It's the second reading, but we can take it as an action item if there's no need for us to send it to committee. We can certainly adopt it as it is, if that's everybody's consensus. And then the next one is the public computer use agreement, and that's also second reading and a possible action item. Does anyone have any concerns about this or any changes that they want to talk about for that?
This is the internet workstation etiquette.
No, we approved that one.
Oh, okay.
It's a public computer use agreement.
Okay. No.
It's very
It's very
short.
short.
Yeah. So is this the one that's posted?
No, it's on the actual computer,
Oh,
on the computer itself before you.
oh, okay. That's why it says clicking. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. So does anybody have any concerns about this? Do we need to have any? I mean, I don't want to cut it short if there's some concerns that someone has.
Do you see that it's functioning properly, Emily?
Yep.
You haven't had to have any problems, and as far as you know, neither has Gerald.
No one's
Sandy.
told me. They've
Okay.
been-
Okay. All right, well, that's also a potential action item, so I'll entertain at some point, but first. And then we have the child safety policy, which is the first reading for that one. And I guess what I am wondering is if this one's kind of long. When was the last time it was reviewed?
23.
It wasn't, yeah, it was 23, so I don't know, do you think we should send, this one's kind of long, we could send this to the committee if they think that.
It's really just past a page because we add all that little bit at the end. I mean, there's two sentences on the back, or one sentence on the back. Oh, I have one sentence on the back.
What is your opinion on this? Because, you know, to read the policy is one thing, but to see it in action and what are the weaknesses or strengths of it?
This was one that we spent a lot of time on in 23, developing, and working with the state library and legal counsel, to really work on the wording of it. And as far as I know, talking to the branch librarians, it has been working. That's one of the benefits of having that policy. If a small child comes in, like we had to use it during our Lego time last year because people started sending their 6-year-olds, and we said, well, the policy is, which was like, I was fine with 6-year-olds being there to play with Legos, but then the adult had to be there with them. And we just were able to say, well, the policy states if they're under 8, they need to have an adult or a guardian, I guess. Cause like if a teenager, if we have a 16-year-old that comes in with their 6-year-old sibling, like, I mean, we're in a small. So it's worked really well to be able to point back to that policy, and some of this, closing time and emergency closing, I guess there had been issues in the past where, because we are not supposed to like give kids rides anywhere. And so to really lay that out, but as far as I know, that hasn't been an issue. in the last 3 years either.
And the 8-year-old break,
Seems to be a good age.
Yes, that has, yeah,
Well, Emily, I did have one question.
yes.
Where it says children 8 and younger, and the next sentence says the librarian on duty has discretion to allow a younger responsible child. So that means younger, older than 9 or older. I wondered that, I thought that seemed a little confusing.
If there's,
It's not referring to the 8-year-olds.
no, younger
Okay.
than that.
younger, not older.
So there was some, I don't want to say concern, but there were comments from frontline staff, so from librarians in the front, that there is potentially, like, if you know somebody, or if there's, you know, if somebody lives close, like really close by, if there's a younger child, that usually does not cause a problem, but then usually that's on a parental basis. And that's why it's up to the,
But they still have to be older than 8.
no, that's if they're younger than.
Okay, so that is, okay, well, I mean, I just. So then children 8 years of age and younger is not written in stone.
No, not really. I
Okay.
mean, that's where.
Okay,
Mhm.
And
that's
how is
kind
that
of
worked out?
scary.
Well,
How can you let my kid in? Just saying.
No, I agree. I can see
I
where that
mean,
would
I don't
cause.
want anybody get, you guys getting,
Mhm.
have anybody fuss with you because you let Cheryl's grandkid in and not mine. Not that I would turn mine loose, no way. But I'm just saying.
couple of instances that I'm aware of, the librarian on duty, the frontline staff has reached out to the parent.
Okay,
And there's an agreement that if anything happens, then that librarian has like quote unquote permission to.
Should that be language included? I'm curious about. though,
Okay.
yeah,
is
I
what
think we
that's
should, I think we should work on that.
associated, so that it is clear that the librarians have contacted parents and it's not just, oh, we're choosing this kiddo. I mean, just to make
Yeah.
things clear.
So perhaps it does need to go to committee.
Yeah.
Is what I'm
Okay.
thinking.
Yeah, and that's what I was just thinking, Cheryl, so. So we currently have a policy committee, which I'm going to excuse myself from, which leaves Cheryl on the policy committee, and so. Would you like to be on the policy?
Well, I'm
committee?
kind of new.
I know, but so was I, so.
Should I?
It's actually pretty, it's interesting how, and what I've learned in things, I mean, when you bring new eyes to a situation.
All right,
And then
then,
they
if you
have
guys
that
think so.
different perspective.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'm gonna appoint you to be on the committee with Cheryl.
well, why don't you just do that? Why bother asking?
Well, I don't want you to mutiny, but, so, and then it'll be up to you guys to get
Okay,
together.
just work on-
You're both
that's-
in Fort
That's the
Benton,
only
so-
thing I saw on that. It just kind of jumped out at me because it confused me.
Well, and I think you bring up a good point. Because we are small communities, and I can definitely see people saying, well, if you let so-and-so's 6-year-old.
So maybe what you want to say, Emily, is children.
We'll go into that.
Oh, we do that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna just move on.
Okay.
I'll contact you then about
Okay.
a time and set it up with Emily so she
Okay.
can aptly post it.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. So now we're going to go into the Big Sandy gutter and drainage thing. I have 2 sealed. Oops, this is not the right.
Lisa, did you want to vote on those first two? Since there's a committee?
Well, we can get public comment then. If anybody has public comment, and then I can entertain this is not I can entertain, sorry. This is, no. So is there any public comment on the 2 policies, internet use and safety and public computer use agreement? Then I will entertain motions to accept those.
I make a motion to accept the internet use and the public, whatever the other,
Safety policy.
public safety policy.
I second.
All in favor, say.
All in favor of accepting the internet use and safety policy as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That policy is passed as written, if you would, so, put that together and give it to us for our books, I appreciate that. And then public computer, I'll entertain a motion for the public computer use agreement.
I move we accept the public computer use agreement, as written after the second reading.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Okay, then we're at and I thought that I had found, I received two bids for the Big Sandy gutter and drainage thing, and do you think I can find the other one now? I went through my book, I don't know what I did with it. So, but I think that before we get there, if I didn't misunderstand the meeting, you were talking about having Thomas Dean and Hoskins person come and look at it. Was this the Big Sandy?
Yes, he sent, well, is it a bid? What is it even called? A proposal?
He did?
Okay. And it went to the foundation.
Oh,
And they did not want to make a motion on that. I did not send it to the trustees.
Do you want to see
It was
what's
after the.
yeah,
I went and got a copy because I requested it.
Oh.
That's why I have
And
it.
this one had one because she's on the foundation.
Yeah.
So.
oh.
So we
Okay.
won't look at it. I just have one.
And so let me see if I understand this. They sent a,
Page two's got the numbers on it behind the.
oh,
I
wow.
I have to say, I was a.
Wow.
Yeah, me too.
That's why I didn't send it on to the trustees because I am not comfortable
No.
even.
I guess I'm
100%.
confused. Do we actually even need this? If
So-
we have all of, my understanding of the procurement policy is if we have all of the dimensions and everything laid out, that we can accept bids if it's clear cut on what is needed to be done.
So in Steve's, when soliciting bids, you should provide all prospective bidders with a clear, complete, and accurate description of the work to be performed, including any applicable specifications and requirements. And
Right.
as far as I know, it hasn't been decided on what exactly the work is. There's been talk of gutter work, there's been talk of concrete work, there's been talk of ramps, there's been talk of handrails. We have not had an outside of a contractor come and say, this is what's gonna solve your problem. And I don't know if the county has that, if they have an engineer that they work with. I mean, they've gotten work done over at the courthouse, or if they
Sure.
subcontract that out. That's why I have not put it out for advertising in the River Press or the Mountaineer, because I do not have a document that says,
Sure.
this is what needs to be done to solve this problem. We know what the problem is.
Right.
But what actual work? The way that it's been explained to me is that that's what you have, so you give that to contractors, concrete people, gutter, whatever, to say, this is the work, how much is it gonna, so then every bid that comes in is covering that same amount. Or that, not the same amount, I'm sorry, the same scope, thank you, of work.
Well, and so you have just not done anything further with this letter from Thomas Dean and Hoskins, right?
No,
Okay, and so I guess I do think that maybe it's the county commissioners that we need to go back to and say, how do we figure this out? Because somebody's gotta tell us, and
Right.
so
I did not print off all of what Steve had sent us, but I did copy off page 8 of the county procurement policy for small purchases between 5 and 25. Now, right, it's actually not a purchase, but I would think that it would fall under that
Work done.
work done for 25,000, and it, it doesn't specify that, but I do agree that maybe we need to go to the county commissioners and say, okay, give us advice because we want to do this right.
And that's the thing, right? It's been like this for a long time, and if we're gonna spend this amount of money, we wanna make sure that it's good work. And so I did look at that also, that range, one of those other bids that came in was for 26,000. So I think we're kind of on that cusp of, depending on what concrete prices are and depending on what wages are at the time. That it's it just feels like it's an in-between right
Yeah,
now.
well, and
Hopefully it will come in within that range, but there's no guarantee that will be under 25, I guess.
absolutely.
So,
But if I remember correctly, that bid, the person was having to rent a lot of equipment that I felt like, if you're a contractor, you should have this and you shouldn't be paying for this. So in my, because that was my parameter too. If I was spending less than 25,000 as a superintendent, I could just approve it. So I'm familiar with doing projects in this realm, and so I would like to suggest, as Lisa said, that we go to the commissioners and say, okay, give us advice and direction and not do the proposal that we.
Yes, the Thomas Dean
yeah,
Hospital.
and like I said, that's why I didn't.
Yeah,
even
thank
bring it
you.
to the board.
Takes your breath away when you say
Yeah,
that.
looking at the budget, that's not,
Yeah,
it's
not feasible.
not feasible.
So, unless someone else would like to do this, I volunteer to go to the county commissioner.
Oh, well, that's, I mean, as director, that's I can set up a meeting and get on their agenda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right?
Well, great. Okay, I'll say great. And in the meantime, I will locate the other bid I have, which I
It's in
thought I
there
found
somewhere.
it. Now I've lost it again. So, but we're not gonna discuss that anyway, because we're not there to that point. And I guess I would, if you're going to get on their agenda, I would want you to, and I believe, I mean, we can discuss this if we need to, but I think the sooner the better, because summer is coming to an end and concrete work is going to be not possible in a couple months, and so.
I will see if I can get on the 31st, since
Okay.
that next Monday is Labor Day, I will see if I can get on next week.
Okay, perfect, thank you. And then if you could, I guess, talk to me about what they say if we need to make another decision about what we do with that, if it requires the expenditure of money or something, then I'd like to know that.
Okay.
So if you could report back to me.
Without waiting till the next meeting.
Yes, just because of the time frame that we're looking at. So, okay, so then the next thing is the wage and hiring process. And this has been set as an action item, and I went back at Emily's suggestion and listened to the meeting since I wasn't present. And I think that what this entails is that we maybe enter into some kind of a policy for what we do when we have situations that we've just had come up. And I am open. We did have some discussion about that at the last meeting. I don't know that we need to revisit that discussion, except to say that hopefully this is not something that will come up very often. And if we enter into some kind of policy, my concern is that because we seem to have, for the most part, longevity in our employees, and which is a wonderful, good thing. And so we may be constantly revising our policy because nothing changes for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden we have a new hire or we have an opening, and then we have to revisit the policy before we can. And so I don't know that it's for our situation. I'm not sure that that is something that we really need, but I'm open to whatever y'all want to do since we talked about it last month.
I think that offers great insight into it, Lisa, because like you say, we really do hope for longevity. And we all know with the change in environment, what a policy that we write for that 5 years from now could totally be ineffective. And then you're tied to that. You have to fix that before you can move on to the next step. So I think Montana code sets it up pretty well about hiring. And we should lean on that guidance.
So I will also tell you that I did reach out to Diane Abner, who is she's the financial clerk, and asked her if the county had any kind of a policy as to what a minimum wage would be for a starting employee with the county. And she got back to me and advised me that they do not. And so then Emily had provided all of us with an employee listing that lists all of the wage employees. It does not list salary employees, as I understand it, but it does list all of the people who are receiving an hourly wage. And I think that it's a good place to begin, because we can look at, you know, what is currently the hourly wage for people and make a decision. And with our budget in mind as well, make a decision about what a wage should be, given what people are earning now in our county. So what do you want to do?
We do all have the amount that all of the Chouteau County Library people were making in June.
Right. And this is June too. Yes, Emily sent it to all of us. Yes.
I didn't send that whole document to everyone.
Oh, you didn't? Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
I just said that it was based on the same, or the numbers that I based the budget, the proposed budget on came off of that document.
oh, okay. Oh, I thought,
But back
okay.
in May, I believe you sent us the hourly wages for library.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I just wrote on a sticky note.
Yeah. Okay, well, I apologize. I got this. Well, anyway, I don't know, maybe we don't need to look further, except that I noticed that so did you only send me the one about the 2025 survey that was done by the state library on wages?
I thought I included that on the email that had the applications.
Right, and
That
that's, I
was for
thought,
everyone.
Was it a book?
I thought this was too.
Yeah, I have, I just forgot to read it.
Yeah, okay, well, I guess the reason I thought, well, okay. So what do you want to do about the wage and hiring process? Do we want to try to enter in, because if we do, I'm going to send it to committee. Just warning you.
Well, if there's a state guideline, is that what you said?
Well, there's
No.
not, it was a survey they did the state library did in 2025. They sent out a survey to all the libraries, and it was on different service populations. So like the directors that service over 25,000 people, the lowest paid director makes this
Okay.
much, the highest paid director makes this much.
Okay,
And then it was the different service areas.
okay.
And it had, so there's no average or no, well, there might be averages in it, I guess, but there was no, like you should be paying a clerk this much, or you should be paying,
Mm-hmm.
and
Right.
there's all sorts of different, there's directors at every
Sure.
library. There are assistant directors at most larger libraries, but then when you get past that, it's very much, some libraries call it librarian 1 and librarian 2, and some libraries have youth services and some have community outreach positions, and so there's a lot of different positions, depending on service size.
Yeah, so in all honesty, I kind of think that the employee listing that shows what everybody in the county is making as far as an hourly wage is concerned, it's actually more beneficial to us than that survey.
Sure.
Just
Mhm.
It's
because,
local.
yeah, and, so, but, I mean, do we want to table this? Or do we want to just kill it? What do we want to do, ladies?
You're talking about the process itself, not a
Right.
specific
Right.
position.
Right,
Like to have a policy to help us through is what you're suggesting, correct? If we had to go through the hiring process again, this would be a policy to clarify how it would be done well. Correct?
Right.
Yeah. I would ask that it be tabled, that we could think about that.
If
okay,
we've never had one, why do we need?
well, that's kind of, right.
And that can be your
Yeah.
call, Lisa. I'm just-
Yeah,
I
so,
need to think about it more.
do you want to move to do that? Or do I need to have a motion to table it? Can I just table it? Okay, I'm gonna just table it. Then that brings us to the next, action item, which is the wage for the assistant director position. And unfortunately, when we, hired Sammy Joe for the position, we did not actually set or approve a salary. And so I'm gonna turn this over to Emily so that she can explain what her reasoning was for the salary that, or excuse me, the wage that Sammy Joe was given, and how she arrived at that, so that we can decide what to do with the wage for the assistant director position. And just so that everybody is clear, when I talked to Emily about this, she advised me that no actual hourly amount was discussed with Sammy at the time that she was interviewed. And isn't that correct? Isn't that what you told me? And also when she was informed that she was hired, I don't believe an hourly wage was given at that point either. She just was told, you just told her you're hired. Is that right?
I think after she was hired, I gave her
Yeah,
that
right.
amount.
But not at the time that she was hired. You didn't say, and we're gonna pay you. You just said, you're in, and then you decided. Is that right?
No,
There was nothing discussed at that
not at the
meeting.
meeting, no.
Yeah.
No,
Right.
about wages.
Right. Well, we did discuss a little bit at the, because I was at the June meeting.
Yeah.
We just didn't move and approve.
Mhm.
So now we have to move and approve because that's our job. And so I'm gonna,
Can I,
Yeah,
Madam Chairman,
yeah.
may I make a comment? I went back and listened to the June meeting again, and it's like, you know, I wish I remembered better than I did, but I didn't. And what I saw on listening to that is exactly what you're saying, Madam Chairman, that we did not talk about a dollar amount, but we did talk about leaving her at her current Geraldine's salary, increasing her hours until she was done with the probationary period. Is that
Yes,
what you all
yes.
remembered?
That's
Yeah.
what I
She would
heard.
be left at that
Mhm.
amount.
yeah,
Okay.
Yes, I did too.
Was that part of the motion?
no,
No, it was
That's our-
about
that
our
was
discussion.
an overlook that we,
There was not part of the motion that talked
Yeah.
about a dollar figure.
yeah.
No. I
Um,
think, if I could make
Go
a
ahead.
comment, we're a young board. I don't think any of us have ever hired anybody. I haven't, have any. I mean,
No.
I don't think we.
You
when
were
I
on the
think-
board when Sarah was hired. In
Well, memory went away.
I'm with her.
Yeah, so I don't think we, if I went back and watched that meeting too, we were all a little confused. And we didn't quite know what to do because it was a new situation.
Right, and now we've got to correct it
Mhm.
because she's hired.
Mhm.
And so, and according to Emily, at the time of her hiring,
This is what she was making.
she was making, 15, 1467.
I'm sorry, I was on the
No,
wrong line.
1554.
Sorry. I was on-
And
yeah.
so.
That's not when she was hired. when she was hired at 1188 in May of 20.
But in June,
Yeah,
that's
in
what she was
June,
making.
yes.
Yes.
And-
And so, I think that what happened is that we, without voting on it, we had talked about that would be appropriate and then bump her up when she's completed her probationary period and been fully trained. But Emily, you can tell us what you did and what your
Okay,
reasoning was.
so then part of that discussion also was what the assistant director position was at, which was 1751 before the 76 increase. So
Right.
it would have been 18, 26, 27,
27.
1827.
Mhm.
So then part of that was from 17 to 1751 was when Maren had gotten her master's degree, so that was that bump up. So then I didn't do the 76 increase. The board said that was my understanding, was that increase would not be there, and then I took that 51 cents off for that because Sammy Jo does not have her master's in library science, so then I settled on 17 as that position.
So, I think that what we need to do now is we need to have a motion to set her wage. And, I think and so that she knows what she's making, at least during the probationary period, and what our position is with regard to getting through the probationary period. So I will entertain.
Could I ask a question?
You bet.
Is
If
she
there's
working
further,
on a degree in library science?
After she began at the Geraldine Library, she did get a bachelor's degree in elementary ed, so she did get a higher degree
Mhm.
than what she had. And this is a different position with different job duties than what she was doing
Right.
before.
But she's not currently working on a library science degree.
Not right this minute, as far as I know, no.
I know in my experience that was the defining mark, is if you had the degree or you were working on it and close to finishing, and
Right, that's why I took that amount off of what Maren had been making before. I went backwards.
but even the what Maren was making at 1751 or whatever, that was in June of this year, and she already had her master's in library science, right?
Yeah, but she received that raise in a previous fiscal year.
Right,
After.
right,
Mhm.
after she had her, so that was
In
crediting
response to
her
that.
for
Yeah,
her.
then that's why I took it off.
Yeah, and so
that.
what you took off, if I'm understanding correctly, was the July bump?
No, the July bump would have been 76 more cents.
Yeah,
on
so you
top of
didn't
that.
include.
I
that.
did not.
Right,
include
that's
that.
what I'm saying,
Right.
yeah. Mhm.
okay, maybe before we entertain a motion, I'm gonna ask if there's any public comment, because we are going to vote on this. So if there's any public comment? Me on the. No, okay, all right,
Decides, like Lana's office, who decides? They don't have a board, who
The
decides?
commission.
No, the
are you
department-
making a public comment?
Are just the commissioners? I mean,
Yes.
I probably misspoke. I think the commissioners are above Lana as her.
well, that's what I just.
So I did reach out to Lana to ask that question, and department heads, Lana sets wages for her office, Eddie Foltz sets wages for the
And then the commissioner.
treasurer's office. Well, they approve the budget, they don't approve individual wages, they approve the budget.
That's what I was trying
Mhm.
to.
And then this falls within the budget that was approved, since it is going to be substantially less, and since we were understaffed. All of July, we had $2,000 less going out of our personnel budget than was originally budgeted for anyway.
So no matter what we agree to today, whether it's the 1554 for 6 months, or it's the $17 that you have already offered her,
Mhm.
we are okay budget wise?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so,
And that's why I went to Montana Code of 22-1-310. And that does say specifically that the Board of Trustees of each library shall appoint and set the compensation of the chief librarian, who shall serve as the secretary and shall serve at the pleasure of the board with the recommendation. The board shall employ and discharge other such persons, which I feel like is the case in this, as be necessary in the administration of affairs. of the
So,
library
yeah.
to fix and pay their compensation.
With the recommendation of the chief librarian.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Mhm. So, having heard no public comment, I'm ready to entertain a motion. If y'all are, unless you want more discussion.
Well, she's already working
Yes.
and getting 17.
Yes.
Did we decide that?
No, that's what we're gonna do today.
Okay.
So, and I think what's kind of on the table is either keep her at her wage for her probationary period or bump her up and ratify, so to speak, the $17 an hour that she's getting, that Emily chose.
Is it time to make a motion?
Yes,
I move that Sammy Jo gets $15.54 through her 6 months of probation.
is there a second?
Do you want to include what she gets after that, Madam Chairman? Do you want that to be part of the motion?
No, I wouldn't because it's probationary.
Right,
Okay.
yeah,
No,
no.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that, the wages and because she's also received a paycheck, hasn't she? Emily?
Yes.
It's been moved and seconded that, Sammy Jo's hourly wage be, for assistant directorship, be $15.54 through her probationary period. Having said that, I'm going to somewhat clarify that and say we aren't going to make her pay back.
Oh, no.
Absolutely.
And so, so all those in favor of the motion,
Aye.
Aye.
all those opposed?
All right, can I ask a question?
You bet, you bet.
Does that mean we are eventually going to bump her up though?
Well, that,
Possibly after the probationary.
Yeah.
I mean, that will depend on her probationary period, which will be dependent on what Emily
Emily's
tells us.
recommendation.
Yes,
And could I ask, when is her?
6
when-
months
6 months from when?
August
from
3rd.
her hire date.
Okay.
and that doesn't hurt our budget again, because it's still
No.
less than Marin's,
Right.
which we had in the budget. Okay. So, yeah, I don't think that we want to set it for, but anyway, so that's the question, okay, so now we're on any opposed.
No, I'm not opposed to that.
Okay.
Yeah, great.
The motion has been moved and seconded that Sammy Jo's, a wage be $15.54 through her probationary period. And and then at that time, we will reconsider, so try to write it
In our
behind your ear that we're
February
gonna
meeting.
bring it up, huh?
At our February meeting.
At our February meeting, thank you,
Mhm.
yeah, okay. Now, the next one is,
Yeah. So since it was August 3rd, all of August, September, October, November, December, so January will be almost over by then. Can we look at it? Because
oh, and then the
January
next
meeting
one would be,
Yeah, when
well,
we
if you're
do-
satisfied, that's kind of up to
Is
you,
that-
because
yeah.
you're supervising her.
Okay.
If you feel like she's, you know, the best thing
Yeah,
since sliced bread and.
Yeah, because it
Okay.
will just be like 1 week short of, and then I can always make the change date. Because when I fill out the changes form, I can put whatever date is approved.
Okay, then the next action item is hiring for the Geraldine library. And as I understand it, we all have received a copy of the applicant. Emily has interviewed this person. She's going to make her recommendation, which will include hiring this person and the wage she should receive. And then we will have a discussion. So I'm gonna turn it over to Emily so that she can tell us about this. We only have, as I understand it, one applicant.
Yes, so, we did the job posting in county for the 2 required weeks and did not have any interest. I then had it put in the Geraldine newsletter that comes out once a month. So for that full month, it was in there and I ran it in the River Press 2 separate weeks in a row. We had 2 applicants. I interviewed both of them at the end of July. Both are very strong candidates. Either one would be a good addition. I then received a call that the one needed to withdraw their application, which then left us with the one applicant. But I'm still very confident and comfortable recommending her to the board for hire,
At,
at $14.50.
okay. And do you want to give us how you arrived at 1450?
So coming off of, like was just discussed, Sammy Joe left that position at, $15.54. And so that's a full dollar back. And then Sarah Shaw as assistant or as clerk in Big Sandy's at $14.67. That, and then, the other branch, librarian Darlene, is at $16.01. Currently, those are with those bumps that they got in July.
Is the 1467 with Sarah after the bump?
Yes, I believe so. I think, because what does it say on that?
Well, it says that she's at 1391.
Yeah, so then the
Okay.
76 would have put that up.
So, I want to make sure I understand the applicant. She has absolutely no experience with the library. Is that correct?
No, most of our applicants do not have library specific.
Yeah, but
experience.
this particular person does
She
not.
does not.
And she's also working another job.
Another part-time job, yes.
Yes. And so,
And she has
I
some-
think as I understand it,
She
her
does.
probationary period would be 6 months as well.
From her hire date, which
Yeah,
would be, I mean, I have to offer the job rate and she has to accept
yeah.
also.
So we don't have to accept this applicant. We can, direct you to go back and open it up again to other applicants. But I guess my question, since you interviewed her, is, do you think that she's eager to learn?
Oh, yes, very much so.
And
She was very excited about, when Sammy Joe talked about how many kids come in and her mom is a teacher and she very much wants to explore that and to move into teen and adult programming and learn about collection.
Well,
development.
and I did notice that on her application that she has had, actually, considering how limited her job resume is, but she's actually had quite a bit of experience with kids.
Yes.
And so that might be,
Yep.
May I ask a question? So how much is the other job going to work into this?
I'm not sure. I will need to discuss that
Yeah.
with her.
Because if we have to, what would be first? Library or her other job?
Well, I need to talk to her about that. I'm
Mhm.
hoping she
Yes.
currently works at the city and I'm hoping with what she does that they will be willing to adjust their hours a bit. As far as I know, they've done that in the past for people because they want services for both positions to be what's best for the community.
and her services with the city, is it with the city or the county?
The
The
city.
city, they don't have set hours? I mean, she
Well, they
can come,
do currently have set hours,
but they have other people that could.
No,
fill
I'm
in?
hoping that they would be willing, because right now they're open also 4 days a week. But that she could potentially work 5 days a week at both places to shorten the hours each day
Oh,
to cover both jobs, so.
but you didn't discuss that with her.
Well, I didn't, if I can't tell her if she's gonna be hired or not.
Yeah.
Wasn't sure I could make any
That makes
promises as
sense.
far as that goes.
I do know the city clerk position that she's currently holding has moved their times around in the past.
Okay. Okay. So is there any other discussion? Is the wage seem acceptable to y'all or?
Do you know what she's making in her other
I
part?
do not know
Okay.
that at all.
No caller. Oh, shoot, I'm so sorry. Let me, I don't know how to get this. I'm in a meeting, bye.
I do know that, there is just concern with how low paying the job
Yeah,
is
it
in and
seems
of
low to
itself
me.
and part-time, that's one of the reasons I have heard that there was not any other applicants, because it's just not a very high paying job, and since it's part-time,
Well,
That's all I know.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, depending on experience, if
Well,
we have
just-
somebody with a
so-
library
So
science
the people
degree.
that have talked to me, and that I've heard from, have said that they did not apply because the wage is so low.
Oh,
So,
I think some of the comparable jobs in Geraldine, for example, an aide in the school, this matches that.
well,
at
which is
least.
fair,
Yes.
I mean, and that's,
This exceeds that, I should say. So I don't think it's rock bottom for Geraldine hires.
any more discussion?
I would like to include in this discussion her training too.
Yes.
Because I think that's a critical component. And were you thinking that Sammy Jo would stay in Geraldine and, because Sammy Jo lives in Geraldine,
Mhm.
correct? Stay in Geraldine and train her for a period of time?
so that rollout would look, I would like to be there, with Sammy Jo for her very first day. For sure, and to, work with her and get to know her, and then Sammy would be with her that whole first day. And then have, depending on what she needs, if she needs extra support right away. I would also like to send Carolyn up, to work with her. I've been doing the state library hiring, onboarding personnel series that they've been offering these last few weeks, and to have that staff cohesiveness and working together. So I would like to send Carolyn, she's our longest employee at the time, to go up and work with her on how to cover books, how to process that physical covering that I talked about before. And then I go up every other week. There would be support that way. And then if needed, Sammy Jo would be available on a case by case basis for more training in that sense. She did not have any training. Joan was gone for a long time before Sammy Jo started. I mean, the library was shut down for the remodel, so she did not have. I mean, it's not much more than a couple of days of one-on-one in-person training.
So you're thinking like, Sammy Jo would help her for a day, you would be there for the day,
For a
and
day.
Carolyn would perhaps go for one day?
To go through those things. And then I'm there, of course, every other week.
Sure.
For sure, yep. And then when we get into that collection management, piece with the cataloging and what to look at books, there would be, some in-person training with that would probably be me.
And I think just logistically, Sammy Jo makes the most sense because she's been in that building.
Right.
She lives in that town. We wouldn't have to pay her mileage to stay. I understand you wanted to be there. I'm totally fine with that. And I'm not opposed to Carolyn spending one day, but I think anything additional, in addition to you every other week, which just naturally happens anyway, I think that we would lean on Sammy Jo to do it.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, any other discussion? Do I have any public comment? I love this. Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I move to accept Emily's recommendation for our Geraldine library position.
Would you state?
And the wage.
Oh, her name is, Michaela Estelle.
Estelle's her middle name, right? Was
That's not what's on the application.
Okay.
Huh,
Well, I believe that when I knew her, she went by a different last name that she is currently, so that's why I was confused.
yeah, okay. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept, Michaela Estelle as the Geraldine librarian position with a 6-month probation at the wage of 15 an hour. All those in favor?
1450.
1450.
Oh, 50.
50.
So sorry. So 14.50 an hour. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Now, we move to new business, which I guess I wasn't paying attention. Public transparency and posting. I don't,
I don't know if that is.
I'm like, does this have to do with open meeting laws or what? I'm sorry, I must have not paid attention. I must have thought that this related back to something that was discussed, which of course doesn't make sense, but why does this?
It was when I did not post, the agenda at the April meeting, was that in Geraldine? And so to have, so this is just a discussion, it's not an action item, but to have something in place, and it doesn't have to be a policy, but a procedure on where agendas are going to be posted, where minutes are going to be available, postings for the recording, things like that. Lisa had called and said that she does not want the link to the YouTube channel to be on the Facebook page, and I've been posting it there just in an abundance of transparency. I do not embed the video on the page. You do not click on the video on the Facebook page and watch it on Facebook. It's the link to the YouTube channel.
And I went back and reviewed. Chris Goss did a open meeting law meeting, and I have maintained his handout for that meeting. And in the handout for his meeting, he said very clearly that the meetings should be posted on our website.
And that's it.
And we do that. And so I think that that's enough. And if people, I mean, we want people to visit our website anyway, because.
Well, they're not on the website. They're on a YouTube channel. That's where they are housed.
But the link is posted on our website. And so if the public really wants to watch our meeting, they should go to our website. And he's 100% behind that, according to his handout. And so I think that's sufficient. So that's my take on it. I do think that our agenda needs to be posted on our website. And I think that it needs to be posted at the library. And I think it needs to be posted at the post office. I don't think Highwood has this, and I don't know that. Well, I suppose, I don't know about Geraldine either, but I know in Fort Benton, they have a board where the commissioners' agendas are posted. It's behind glass, so people can't pull it down, take it down, mark it up, whatever. And I think that's where our agenda should be posted as well.
And the school boards is posted there also.
Oh, and the school boards, well, I know that commissioners are, so I
In
saw the
order to
commissioners.
get it there, you have to take it to the post office employee, correct? Because it's behind a locked door. I agree, Madam Chairman. I think that is the right place for it. And I think those two places it should be, and I agree, and I'm thankful, Emily, that you brought this up, that we need to state exactly when we're posting them and when we're posting them. And I know the law says it has to be 24 hours, but 48 is recommended. And I think the 48 is good, even though, so you don't want to go to the minimum of the law. And so I am in full agreement that we post it on our website, we post it in the library and in the post office, as you've been doing, correct? I think that's right. And that it not be on Facebook. I think Facebook is social media. And I know that as superintendent, I was frequently asked for things to be on Facebook, and my response was always not on social media, on our website. We want to maintain a professional atmosphere and attitude, and that's what I'd like to support.
Good, very nice.
So I guess I mean, if you need us to be more specific, like we need to pass something?
No, I don't think we do.
Okay. So is anybody else, any other discussion that people want to? Okay. All right. So, are you clear about that then?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now is the time for public comment, items not on the agenda, but the jurisdiction of the board. So please feel free to speak your mind for 3 minutes.
September is National Library Card Month. I'm sure that as good library users, you all have library cards, but just in case, now you do.
Thank you.
I also have a River Press subscription card there in case you need a subscription to the River Press. At the last board meeting, one of the trustees thought the position of the assistant director had only been in place since 2021. This position was not dreamed up by the current library director since 1995, which was 31 years ago. The assistant library directors have been Patty McKenzie, Joe Wigger, Debbie Wellman, Sandra Larson, Maren Engen, Lauren Wood, and Lila Nansel. 4 of these ladies went on to be the Chouteau County Library Director. 2 of the ladies went on to work in the private sector. Since 1995, 31 years ago, there have been 2 library clerks. You were talking about longevity. This is longevity. Perhaps the trustees could brush up on their Chouteau County Library history. During the public comment, a local resident commented on micromanagement by the board of trustees. Before the end of one of the meetings, one of the trustees asked the director about travel of library staff between libraries. This seems to be micromanaging. The assistant director had gone to the Geraldine Library at the request of the Geraldine librarian, for assistance in weeding books. This was the trustee explained to the trustee. What did the trustees think? The librarians were going to Rusty's to party. If the trustees feel they need to know every movement of the librarian, they need to be at the library all the time. You are a board. The 5 of you are a board of trustees. You should not act alone. For example, run surveys or request several months worth of Northwest energy bills because that trustee feels the energy bill is too high. The Fort Benton Library is a very old building and is much larger than the other 2 libraries. The energy bills are not eating up the budget, which has not been overspent over the years. As the lady who made the public comment said, your focus should be policy, budget, and the library mission. I also included a list of upcoming events and what happened at the library in August in case you missed it. Future River Press issues will have September happenings, and as you can see, there's a lot going on. Please read it. You might learn something, and we would love to see you at the library for the cyber and for bingo and anything else. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else?
I'm Annie Gonzalez, and you were talking about the Big Sandy gutter and dip drainage. And just to give you a little bit of information, I got a bid for a big concrete project in Fort Benton in May. Didn't happen in the time frame I was hoping to. They've had to rebid it. It has gone up $9,000. So you did a little gasp at a bid you saw. Get prepared for more gas.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to make a comment?
May I just ask a question?
Do you want to
cannot
stand
answer
up
you.
and be on the?
Oh, what's that?
We cannot answer in public comment of non-agenda item.
All right, so I don't know what that means, but I'll ask the question and see what happens. How
You have to
does the
state your name,
normal,
please.
Lori Reddick, in the normal lay people who aren't maybe familiar with all the websites that they're interested, that have subjects they're interested in, how does the normal lay person know the web to go to the library website? What is the, like, where is that? Where does a person, when a person wants to know what happened at a meeting, I don't know, how do they know?
Would you like to answer this since we're not legally supposed to address a non-agenda item?
So this would be an example of why I was posting it.
No, just answer her question.
Yeah, well, that, I do get that, I get that. That's very handy.
We also have our weekly ad in the River Press that shows the library website address to be able to go to that.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I move that we adjourn the August meeting of the Chouteau County Library.
I second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The next meeting will be September 23rd at noon at Geraldine, Montana. Hope to see y'all there. And I'm sorry, ladies, I got a boogie. I got a 2 o'clock, which I'm gonna be late.